that we have finished all the morphologies, right? From root, stem, leaf, flower, fruit, seed, all the 6 morphologies. We come to the second part of that's the last part of the chapter, where we have to study a family and how to implement a floral formula and a floral diagram. Now the NCERT textbook mentions only or describes only one family, but the NTA syllabus on their website, which they had issued last year, is finding mention of 5 other families as a part of practical syllabus also. So just to be on the safer side, we will cover all those 5 families also. Although none of the questions from these, ये 5 families से कोई question आया नहीं था in the NEET 2024, right? Which has been a lot of controversy, you know. Final judgment has come yesterday. There is not going to be any re-NEET. Anyways, that is for another day. By the time your exams comes, we'll have something else. Okay. So, but today what we are going to do is try and study the concept of family and see the description of one family. And the remaining 5 families we will be trying to do it in the next lecture. Now this is coming under the heading of semi-technical description of a typical flowering plant, which is accompanied by a floral diagram and a floral formula of the mustard plant, right, which is family Brassicaceae. The structure of the diagram and the formula we will do when we do the study of family Brassicaceae in the next session. And I'm not going to explain this right now. Now when we have to describe the structure of a flowering plant, I told you in this chapter whenever a flowering plant is mentioned, it implies angiosperm. Various morphological features are used to describe a flowering plant. The description has to be brief, simple, scientific language and presented in proper sequence. This is important. In a proper sequence. That means the description first starts with the habit. This is number 1. Habit is in what area the plant is found. Right? Tropics, subtropics, temperate zones. Right? Uska area. Where do you find this plant or this family appearing? Then comes vegetative characters. What are vegetative characters? What is the root like? What is the stem? What is the leaf? Have you studied the morphologies of all this? Yes. Right? So root may we do know what is a taproot or a adventitious root. Right? Leaf may we know about what's a phyllotaxy, what is the venation like, what is the type, simple or compound. Right? Now agar compound is, it can either be a pinnately compound or a palmately compound. Right? Stem may we have not done any kind of description or classification. Okay, na? So when the description starts coming, we'll talk about the stem also. And uske baad, so ye number 1 hai, sequence mein, habit. Then comes the vegetative characters, number 2. Number 3 is the floral characteristics, that is the inflorescence and the parts of the flower. After describing the various parts, a floral diagram and a floral formula is presented, which we have just seen for Brassicaceae. Floral diagram and a floral formula. The floral formula is represented by some symbols. Now symbols we've already done. सारे symbols already हमने establish कर लिए during the structure of the flower. Right? We do know what is the symmetry का symbol, actinomorphic and zygomorphic. ठीक है ना? We know symbols for the floral whorls also. Calyx is K, corolla is C, A is androecium, G is gynoecium, perianth is P. Right? And we know the fusion is indicated by a bracket. Okay? We know for adhesion also. ऊपर वाला छोटा सा लाइन कर्व्ड वाला, right? We know what is superior inferior ovary also, right? Now next page पे just see वहाँ पे superior inferior ovary में वो line is missing in the notes. Can you please make that line for superior? Superior के लिए the line will come below G and inferior के लिए the line will come above G. Please, okay? Just make that. Printing में आया नहीं. But okay, but please. But before we start the description, it is important to talk about the concept of family, because what you're doing is family pricing. Family कर रहे हैं ना. Now, family is a unit in classification. See, when you study a large group, right? Plants are a large group, animals are a large group. If you have to systematically study this large group, the most essential thing is to classify them. Because classification will bring all those organisms with similar characteristics together. And you can study them as a group. That is the benefit of a classification. Now, classification के लिए you have certain rules and steps. Classification के लिए what you have are categories. You'll be aware that in armed forces, do we have ranks? Yes. Right? The highest would be, let's say, for example, general. Right now, then you'll have a major or a lieutenant or a colonel or something like that. So, in classification also we have ranks in classification. And the highest rank in classification is kingdom. Now, I'm 100% sure that you have heard about 5 kingdom classification in school. Yes. Kingdom Monera, Kingdom Protista, Kingdom Fungi, Kingdom Plantae, Kingdom Animalia. Isn't it? So, currently we are following R.H. Whitaker's 5 kingdom classification. Right? It's inadequate. It is inadequate because viruses still have no place in this, because we are still debating whether viruses are living or non-living. ठीक है ना? तो उसके बाद हम लोग क्लासिफिकेशन मॉडिफाई करेंगे. तो एक तो ये पता चलता है कि क्लासिफिकेशन जो है वो हमेशा इवॉल्व होने वाला प्रोसेस है. मतलब जब क्लासिफिकेशन डिजाइन हुआ था स्टार्टिंग में, राइट, इट वाज अ 2 किंगडम क्लासिफिकेशन. Everything was classified as plants and animals, and fungi was put in plants. Then they discovered, भाई इसमें तो क्लोरोफिल नहीं है. Plants are autotrophic, ये saprophytic है, तो fungi अलग किंगडम बन गया. So classification is an ever evolving process. It makes it more better and better. So in classification, the highest category is kingdom. Now, out of the blue, I pick up any organism. So, either the organism has to be a bacteria, तो वो kingdom Monera हो जाएगा, या फिर protista रहेगा, या fungus रहेगा, या plantae रहेगा, क्योंकि 5 ही kingdom तो है अपने पास. So, that will be my kingdom. So, this is the highest level of classification, highest category in classification. What follows after kingdom is phylum or division. Right? Those who have studied animal classification at school must be aware of terms like phylum Porifera, phylum Coelenterata. याद आ रहा है कुछ? Phylum Annelida, phylum Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata. Those who have need not be scared, please. There will be a few schools here and there, sir, animal classification था ही नहीं हमको तो, ठीक है ना? especially those so-called international or IB schools who feel it is below their standard to teach all this stuff. Right? Yesterday, I had a fight with the 12th standard students. Fight मतलब friendly वाला. हम लोग का fight किस पे होता है? Question पे, exam और क्या? In the Sunday test, I had put one question, right? In the NCERT, it is written that an event has occurred in England. But in the question paper, I wrote Great Britain. लड़ने को आ गए, सर NCERT में इंग्लैंड लिखा है सर, आपने ग्रेट ब्रिटेन दिया सर. तो बोला ग्रेट ब्रिटेन बड़ा है, उसके अंदर इंग्लैंड भी आता है, स्कॉटलैंड भी आता है, वेल्स भी आता है. अगर मेरा ज्योग्राफी बराबर, सर हमको स्कूल में ज्योग्राफी था ही नहीं सर. तो बोला ये कौन सा स्कूल है जो ज्योग्राफी नहीं था, इंटरनेशनल स्कूल था. तो मैंने बोला छोड़ो जाने, भी मेरी गलती नहीं रहा है. Okay, so that's why I mentioned, if the schools have left out this part, please don't worry. When we come to Kingdom Animalia chapter, we'll study everything. Right? Otherwise, students become petrified. अरे ये सब क्या चल रहा है, मुझे समझ में क्यों नहीं आ रहा? Okay. So then is phylum. What means phylum or division? Phylum you use in case of classifying animals, and while classifying plants you use division. Right? ना phylum को हम लोग use करते हैं animals के लिए, division को non animals के लिए हम लोग division use करते हैं. Phylum को specifically animals के लिए use करते हैं. Phylum के बाद आता है class. Class के बाद आता है order. Order के बाद आता है family. And then comes genus, and lastly is species. So these are the 7 categories in classification. No, I would like to rephrase it. These are 7 obligatory categories in classification. Why obligatory? Because when I am classifying an organism, I have to use the 7 categories. अच्छा, ये 7 के अलावा कुछ है? हाँ है. 2 कैटेगरीज के बीच में भी एक कैटेगरी आ सकती है. अब क्लास के नीचे सब क्लास आ जाएगा, क्लास के ऊपर सुपर क्लास आ सकता है. Those are called sub categories, right? But when you are looking at the overall classification, these 7 are the most important, and you have to remember these 7. Very essential, and that too in this order, from kingdom to species, right? I don't know, till the end of our syllabus I am going to repeat this so many times in the class. Right? There is in English में there is a term you keep on repeating till ad nauseum. Ad nauseum is तुमको उल्टी नहीं आएगी तब तक मैं ये repeat करता ही रहूँगा. इतना important है ये sequence. Right? Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. Kids prefer cheese over fried green spinach. And that is a fact. बराबर ना? हरा सब्जी कौन खाएगा? बराबर है. चीज इज अच्छा लगता है. ओके, ये ऑर्डर में ही आना चाहिए प्लीज. ओके, बट टुडे आवर सेंटर ऑफ डिस्कशन इज फैमिली. समझ आया व्हाट इज दैट? प्लीज, I am placing before you the concept and idea of a family. The family that we are going to do today is Solanaceae, which is a part of the syllabus in NCERT. Solanaceae, वो Brassicaceae सिर्फ डायग्राम है. Brassicaceae का डिस्कशन आएगा तो वो डायग्राम और फॉर्मूला लेंगे. हमारा आज का डिस्कशन Solanaceae का है. ठीक है? Now under Solanaceae, you can have multiple genera. Towards the bottom place, we are trying to understand and establish a very important concept, and this concept is the base for the entire first chapter, that is your living world and classification. So please This concept will help us in kingdom plantae, kingdom animalia. Right? So please focus. Under family, you can have multiple genera. One of the genus under Solanaceae is Solanum. Under Solanum, you can have multiple species. Now, can you see the family or the tree type structure now? Right? For example, Solanum nigrum, Solanum tuberosum, Solanum melangona, Solanum lycopersicum. Lycopersicum is your tomato. Tuberosum is your potato, right? Melangona, I don't know कितने लोग का favorite है, लिस्ट में है या नहीं वो भी नहीं मुझे मालूम. Eggplant. And nigrum is Makoi plant. Please towards the bottom. We have these 4 examples in our description also. Don't worry, please. That's why I've written them on the board. So these 4 are species, and they come under Solanum. Whereas Solanum as a genus comes under Solanaceae. Similarly, Solanaceae would come something under order. It's order actually Polymonials. Polymonials will come under some class. It's Malvaceae, right? It will come under some phylum, but it will come kingdom plantae. ऐसे क्लासिफिकेशन बढ़ेगा उसका. ठीक है? Now, when we are doing Solanaceae, we are covering a large number of plants. Right? You could have, let's say for example, 8-10 genera coming under Solanaceae. So it would be a group of almost, let's say about 80, 100, maybe 200 plants. So when we describe Solanaceae, will our description be general or specific? General. Because when we are describing a large number now, अब सबके कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स सेम तो होने वाले हैं नहीं. हाँ, हमने उनको साथ में इसलिए जमा किया कि थोड़े बहुत कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स की सिमिलैरिटी है. That's why we are studying them under one group. But we will not be specific for them. We will use general terms for them. Okay, now if I have to give you a similar examples, let's say for example in animals, right? For animals, let's say I'll give you 3 animals. Very easy and very, very simple to understand. The lion, the tiger and the leopard. Right? They all come under the genus called as Panthera. Panthera. So Panthera leo is lion. Panthera tigris is tiger and Panthera pardus is leopard. All these 3 are coming under Panthera. Now can you see that these 3 are very similar occurring structures and they are sharing quite a large number of characteristics both structurally and functionally. So जो species होते हैं ना उनके अंदर characteristics बहुत similar होते हैं. अब Panthera जो है it belongs to family Felidae. Felidae में और एक जीनस है जिसका नाम है Felis. Yes, cat. Felis domestica. House cat. So now tell me, जो characteristics की similarity ये लोग share करेंगे. The lion will share characteristics with tiger and leopard. Will the similarity be same between a tiger and a cat? No. The degree will be lesser. The degree will be higher amongst them. That means the degree of similarity is highest at the lowest level. जितनी सिमिलैरिटी ज्यादा रहेगी मतलब वो नीचे के लेवल पे है। अब सोलानम के साथ में मैंने और एक जनरा XYZ डाल दिया तो इनके बीच में सिमिलैरिटी का लेवल कम हो जाएगा, बिकॉज ये ऊपर तक कहां जाएगा, किंगडम तक जाएगा, ऑब्वियसली वो सिमिलर तो होगा ही। So where is the level of similarity at highest? At which level it is the highest? Species level. Where is it the lowest level? Kingdom level. ठीक है? Right now we are at the level of family, and that too in case of plants. Right? This is the second family name that we are coming across. पहला Brassicaceae था और ये Solanaceae. One thing we find common in both of them is the suffix CEAE, right? CEAE is the suffix for a plant family. मतलब if CEAE is the suffix and उसके पहले कुछ भी लिखा हो, any God-forsaken thing, कुछ भी, you must not have even heard of it in your wildest dreams also. Eyes closed, sir, it is a plant family. Why it is a plant family? Sir, suffix is CAE. Khatam. So you have certain tricks to identify order also, class also. Right? As we go ahead in further chapters, I'll give you these tricks. Because these buggers can ask everything. चार ऐसे कुछ तो आलतू फालतू नाम दे देंगे, भाई to what category does it belong to? तो अपने पास वो सफिक्स वाला आइडिया होना चाहिए। वो लोग भी शायद तो अपन भी टेंशन है ना उसमें क्या। ओके, सो नाउ कमिंग फर्स्ट टू डिस्क्रिप्शन ऑफ द फ्लोरल डायग्राम एंड देन वी गो टू डिस्क्रिप्शन ऑफ सोलानेसी। इज द आइडिया ऑफ फैमिली वेरी क्लियर टू एवरीबॉडी? हाँ, ओके। अ फ्लोरल डायग्राम प्रोवाइड्स इंफॉर्मेशन अबाउट द number of parts of a flower, okay, their arrangement and the relation they have with one another, the position of the mother axis on the diagram. Can you see a small dot above the diagram? In the floral diagram, do you see above dot? Yes, that dot ko label kar do mother axis. It is depicting the posterior part of the flower. That is the mother axis. You will be asked only what does the dot signify. There is no other question available in the MCQs apart from that. So the dot is indicating the mother axis of the flower. Okay. Calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium are drawn in successive whorls. I think अपने flower की description में सबसे पहला वही आया था. Calyx always is the outermost, gynoecium is always the innermost, और वो sequence कभी change नहीं होगा. So when you look at the description or the diagram rather, the outermost structure that you have drawn is that of the calyx, followed by the corolla, followed by the androecium, and the innermost will be the gynoecium. आ रहे समझ में? So ये calyx होगा, ये corolla, this is androecium, this is gynoecium. Now see, a typical floral diagram is there in front of you. A typical floral formula is there in front of you. ठीक है? Now, you guys know what is estivation. Estivation पता है, right now? Arrangement of sepals or petals. Respect to the members of the same word, right? So can I see a certain kind of an overlapping here? Yes, right? So that means I can recognize the estivation. Can I see यहाँ पर, okay, it is just near touching, तो शायद मेरी valvet वगैरह दिख रहा होगा. Okay, so can I see the estivation clearly from the diagram? So can I see estivation anywhere in the floral formula? No. That means there is something available in the diagram which is not available in the formula. Right? Number one is estivation. Do you have a cross section of the ovary here? Yes. So the cross section of the ovary will tell me the placentation also. Yes. How is the placenta placed? How are the ovules attached? So What is available in the diagram which is not seen in the formula? Estivation and placentation. Make note of that, please. Right? Estivation and placentation can be seen in the floral diagram but not in the floral formula. So this is not overtly mentioned in the NCERT, please. But it is available as an inference from the diagram. So it is very valid as a question. मतलब अगर क्वेश्चन आया तो वी कांट कम सर ये आउट ऑफ सिलेबस क्वेश्चन एनसीईआरटी मेंशन नहीं किया, नहीं, ये क्लियर कट दिख रहा है अपने को डायग्राम में. ठीक है, ओके. यस सर, anything you can see which is available in the formula but not in the diagram. उल्टा. I can see symmetry भी डिसाइड कर सकता हूँ मैं. Very good, excellent. I can know that this is a superior ovary, but there is no way I can tell whether the ovary is superior or inferior from here. अब उल्टा लिख लो. The formula tells us the position of the ovary. Right, which cannot be seen in the diagram. See, amongst the characteristics of the flower that we have studied, I have given you these three examples. Because this is what has been covered by us in the characteristics of flower. ठीक है ना? तो, what is advantage of diagram over formula? Estimation. What can be seen in the formula over diagram? Position of ovary. That means when we have to describe the structure, we need both of them. The floral formula as well as the floral diagram, both are essential for describing the flower. Because both will complement each other in finishing the entire thing. ठीक है? समझ में आ रहा है? Yes sir. That is not depicted. That can be known by this 2 plus 4. Okay. Okay. Now, calyx corolla, वो तो हो गया. Floral formula also shows cohesion and adhesion within parts of the whorls and between whorls. Oh, cohesion and adhesion. We did that. Yes sir. Yes, it can show. Yes sir. Anybody? What is cohesion adhesion? Yes sir. No. Yes, yes. I'm talking to you.
Cohesion is when like the same words they fuse with each other.
Okay.
But adhesion is when it fuses with other words.
Okay. Fine. The types of adhesion that we have studied.
So adhesion in the male stamen will be monoadulterated. In adhesion.
I'm talking adhesion, you're talking about cohesion.
Go on.
No bro, take your time.
Oh, okay.
Take your time, no problem. I have got all the time in the world. I'm never in a hurry.
With the petal, when it fuses with the petal, it's called something petal.
पीछे से आया ना,
And then it's called phyllis when it's fuses
Epipetalous and epiphyllous. Right, na? Are they indicated by a small curved line joining the above? Right, na? ठीक है ना? So please, where cohesion and adhesion are mentioned, can you please write down the definition? Fusion amongst the members of the same whorl is cohesion. Fusion amongst the members of the same whorl is cohesion. And fusion amongst members of different whorls is adhesion. Yes, bol.
So perianth is also addition. Perianth.
Yeah, epiphyllous is adhesion.
So this cohesion, so वो androsham से related ही होगा. Androsham will be with another androsham.
No, here we are talking about please. Here we are talking about cohesion, adhesion in general. तो अगर कोई गैमोसेफेलस या गैमोपेटालस कंडीशन है तो वो कोहेजन है ना. जैसे एंड्रोशम आपस में फ्यूजन कोहेजन है, वैसे कैलिक्स आपस में कोहेजन ही होगा ना, है कि नहीं? पेरियांत नहीं, पेरियांत जो है वो वर्ल है, पेरियांत एडिशन में नहीं आएगा, ठीक है ना? वो फ्यूजन की वजह से नहीं आ रहा है, ठीक है? ओके. Now coming to the family Solanaceae. Let's see if the sequence is followed. The large family commonly called the potato family. लो सीधा एकदम आलू family, right? मेरा वार्निंग याद है ना? मम्मी तो नहीं बोल रहा. हाँ, let's have some solanum tuberosum bhaji today. Okay. It is widely distributed in the tropics, subtropics, even temperate. Is this describing the habit now? The areas where it is found now? Okay. Next is the vegetative characteristics. Plants, mostly herbs, shrubs and rarely small trees. According to height, the plants are divided into three parts. The tall ones are the trees, the medium sized are the shrubs and the very small ones are the herbs. So यहाँ पर rarely you have small trees. And most of them are shrubs or herbs. So now, is this description general or specific? General. समझ आया मेरी बात? क्योंकि हम लोग एक बहुत बड़ी फैमिली को डिस्क्राइब कर रहे हैं, ठीक है? Stem, please be a little attentive. Herbaceous, a little soft, rarely woody. Right? These are not woody stems, a little softer stems. Aerial. Aerial is when the stem is above the ground. Aerial is when the stem is above the ground. Because potato we will find it's under the ground. So position wise जब हम लोग stem को classify करते हैं ना, तो stems above the ground, aerial. Stems along the ground. Do we have those creepers? So those are called subaerial. And the ones which are below are called as underground stems. That is one classification. So aerial का मतलब होता है the stems which are above the ground. Erect, that means they are standing on their own without any kind of support. They are standing on their own without any kind of support. That is what an erect stem is. It is cylindrical. It is branched. It is solid or hollow because they are very soft. They are not hard. Okay. Hairy or glabrous. Right? Did we talk about stem hair? किसी को याद है क्या बोलते हैं उसको? Trichomes. So you can have hair present on the surface of the stem, or it could be flat, or without hair. Without hair is glabrous, right? And must में exception is potato, where you have an underground stem. Potato is an underground stem. And what is the name of the potato described as? Solanum tuberosum. Please, a potato is different from a sweet potato. Sweet potato is a root. And potato is a stem. Right? Sweet potato is an Ipomia. उसका species नाम बताओ क्या?
That potato.
Yeah, that is the name of the species. Okay.
Potato, butter.
Hypomia batatas, right? ठीक है, चलो. नहीं आएगा DCT में. सर DCT में आएगा क्या? Right ना? ये बाकी 999 लोग हैं ना? वो चढ़ाई कर देंगे मेरे पे. Hypomia batatas. Okay. Very Bombay type now. Right, once I was traveling in the north area, right? In north area, Delhi वगैरह side we were traveling on a road trip. So we have a lot of dhabas there, of eateries there. So we were having at one of the dhabas. So when you order something, right? ना, तो मैंने बोला भाई थोड़ा सा कांदा दे देना. तो बोले सर आप बॉम्बे से हो? तो बोला क्यों? बोले यार नॉर्थ में कोई कांदा नहीं बोलता है, प्याज बोलता है. और बोले इसको बटाटा नहीं बोलते, आलू बोलते हैं. So we are distinguishable in any part of the country, right? Na? By our special brand of Hindi. Right? The RLI, Jarala type of Hindi. Right? When you travel to states like UP or go to especially Lucknow and space, you feel actually embarrassed to open your mouth with the real kind of language that they speak. Okay. English अच्छा है अपना. चलो. So पहले stem हो गया, then leaf, quite please. Leaf alternate is it talking about fire taxi? Simple type of leaf. I hope everybody remembers, no? Please. Yes, ma'am. Madam, what is simple leaf? मेरा मन नहीं करता आगे बढ़ने का. Very good, right? The lamina is complete or incised, but the incision does not reach the midrib, is called as a simple leaf. Very good, excellent, right? Now, rarely is it pinnately compound. Compound में दो types है, pinnately and palmate. Exstipulate. Stipules are absent. Right? Two pointed structures coming from the leaf base. Right? अगर stipule present है तो leaf is stipulate. And if absent है तो exstipulate. And the venation is reticulate. Obviously, it's a dicot. Dicots will always show reticulate venation. हाँ? हाँ तो ठीक है, नहीं है. हाँ क्या हो गया? So ये हो गया अपना vegetative characteristics का description. Root हो गया, stem, leaf. अब coming to floral characteristics. Inflorescence is solitary single standalone flower, not in a cluster. Axillary, coming from the axil, right? The bud will convert to a floral bud then. Or solanum group के अंदर you have cymose, right? We have studied two types, racemose and cymose. Again, is it a very general or a specific statement? A general statement. मतलब इतनी सारी possibilities है पहले family में, ठीक है? Flower is bisexual, actinomorphic. Please correlate with the floral formula below. Can you see the sign for both bisexual and actinomorphic, please?
Yes.
Calyx, 5 sepals. Can you see a K5?
Yes.
United. Can you see the bracket there, please?
Yes.
Yes. So bracket is indicating fusion. Valvate estivation. Valvate estivation में, if you look at this diagram, can you see members are just touching each other?
Yes.
In fact, corolla के अंदर भी valvate estivation है, ठीक है? But valvate estivation के पहले एक छोटा सा term है, वहाँ पे लिखा है persistent. It is a persistent calyx, right? Now, calyx can be of 3 types. Right? It's a caducous calyx, it's a deciduous calyx, or a persistent calyx. What is the ultimate function of a flower? Reproduction. Right? Once reproduction is done, is the function established? Yes. Right? All the parts of the flower ka function are aimed to establish reproduction. Right? The calyx will do photosynthesis, give energy. Corolla is going to attract the insects for pollination. Right? Ultimately, they are all aimed towards the same kind of objective. Once reproduction is done, double fertilization is done, फिर किसी भी चीज की जरूरत नहीं, काम हो गया ना, फिर तू कौन मैं कौन, है कि नहीं? आफ्टर 12th स्टैंडर्ड तो स्टूडेंट्स लुक राइट थ्रू अस, तुम्हारा काम हो गया अभी खत्म, राइट ना? The calyx falls off, the corolla falls off, the androecium falls off, gynoecium में the stigma and style falls off. What remains on the plant is only the ovary, because now after fertilization the ovary will mature as a fruit. यानी flower में से जो बचेगा part after reproduction is only the ovary. Rest all the parts they'll fall down, they'll disperse, because all of them have established their functions. But sometimes the calyx refuses to fall off and remains attached to the fruit also. Very easy example, brinjal. Brinjal में do you see those 5 finger-like projections? That is the calyx. इसका मतलब calyx बड़ा चिपको यहाँ पे, ये after fruit formation भी नहीं गया. So such a calyx is called as a persistent calyx. It is a feature of Solanaceae. I told you, brinjal belongs to Solanaceae. So write down what's a persistent calyx. Calyx remains attached to fruit. Strawberry, yes. But as an example to give, brinjal is very evident, that's why. Right, calyx remains attached to the fruit. ठीक है? That is a persistent calyx. Corolla petals are 5, united, valvate estivation, सब कुछ दिख रहा है अपने को? Androecium stamens are 5, epipetalis. Can I see the line of adhesion here between C and A? Okay. Now, in the diagram, can I see the androecium, the filament being attached to the corolla now here? है कि नहीं? सारे filaments किधर नीचे attached है, corolla से attached है. That means it's a epipetalis stamen. Gynoecium is bicarpellary. Yes, do we find the G2 there? Okay, so bicarpellary है. Syncarpus, bracket है? Yes. Ovary superior, line नीचे दिख रहा है अपने को? Yes, very good, excellent. Right? Now, it is obligately placed. It is bilocular. Placenta is swollen. ठीक है ना? अब क्या ये सब हमको फॉर्मूला से अवेलेबल होगा? नहीं, ये चेक करने के लिए अपने को डायग्राम देखना पड़ेगा. नाउ व्हेन यू सी द क्रॉस सेक्शन ऑफ द ओवरी, सिंस इट इज बाइकार्पलरी, इट मेक्स परफेक्ट सेंस दैट इज बाइलोक्युलर. G2 है, बाइलोक्युलर है, सिनकार्पस है, ठीक है? उसका प्लेसेंटा यहां पर है और प्लेसेंटा को अटैच्ड है ओव्यूल्स. सो दूसरे का प्लेसेंटा यहां पर है, अटैच्ड है ओव्यूल्स. सो डू वी फाइंड दैट प्लेसेंटा इज एट द सेंट्रल डिस्क? So what is the kind of placentation available to us? Now it is a axile placentation. बराबर? That was the axile placentation का definition that we had done. So this is the axile placentation. Placenta swollen with many ovules. So placenta is swollen in the middle. Now the only hitch that they have given is the obligately placed. Right now, the only meaning which I could, because I have not found obligately placed anywhere in any source book also. सारे source book भी देख लिया मैंने तो, कहीं ये mention नहीं है, तो पता नहीं इसका मतलब क्या रखा है लोग ने. The only sense which I could make is the oblique placement of the entire structure. Maybe that is one meaning which I can derive from that. Apart from that, I have not been able to derive any meaning of this obligately placed. Right now, I admit my defeat. Okay. क्या करूँ यार, एनसीईआरटी में दिया है तो दिया है, मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता हूँ। नहीं, वेरी फ्रैंकली बहुत ट्राई किया मैंने, मिला ही नहीं कहीं भी मेरे को यार। तो उसको प्लीज, दिस इज अ गिफ्ट फ्रॉम द एनसीईआरटी। ओके, ठीक है। सो कैलिक्स, करोला, एंड्रोशियम, गाइनोशियम। द फ्रूट इज अ बेरी और अ कैप्सूल। व्हाट इज द मैंगो फ्रूट कॉल्ड एज? ड्रूप, राइट। फ्रूट पढ़ाते वक्त ड्रूप मेंशन किया, तब मैंने फ्रूट्स का क्लासिफिकेशन कराया था। फ्रूट्स आर क्लासिफाइड एज सिंपल, composite, right now. So जैसे one of the classification is drupe, similarly you have berry or capsule also, right? The description is a berry or a capsule. Seeds many, and they are all endospermic seeds. They are all endospermic seeds. That means the food is stored in the endosperm. Yes, and lastly the floral formula, right? Identifying the floral formula of Solanaceae. Epipetalis is the first thing that you should look at. Now, the examiner can place a question of giving you 4 floral formulas and asking you which of the following represents Solanaceae. So you have to be able to recognize the entire floral formula. K5 लिखा है या K2 लिखा है या G2 लिखा है या G5 लिखा है, G के लाइन नीचे है या ऊपर है, मतलब कहीं भी ऑप्शन चेंज, तो तुमको एग्जैक्ट फ्लोरल फॉर्मूला पता होना चाहिए. एंड फाइनली द इकोनॉमिक इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर फैमिली. Which are the plants in this family which are economically important? Obviously, some of them are sources for food like tomato, brinjal and potato. I have given the respective names also. Something like chili is used as a spice, right? So, guys, if I ask you, what is the placentation of chili? Axial placentation. Right now? Because chili belongs to Solanaceae. Solanaceae shows axial placentation. Correlation. ठीक है ना? अब can you see the amount of permutations and combinations possible from here? तो बच के रहना. Belladonna and ashwagandha also belong to. Ashwagandha is very famous as a Ayurvedic medicine plant, right? So petunia is a ornamental. Ornamentals are those plants which are cultivated basically for their beautiful flowers. So gardens may basically you have almost all ornamental plants only. Okay, and who does not know tobacco? Right? Perhaps the most important discovery in the history of man. For relevant people, not for us. Okay. Now tobacco. Under tobacco you have many species, right? Now Nicotiana tabacum is your third tobacco plant, right? Similarly, some of the parts of tobacco can be used as fumigation to drive away insects, right? That's called as fumigation, fumigatory purpose for tobacco, right? So these are some of the economically important plants coming under the family Solanaceae. Oh, I'm so sorry. Go ahead, please. So, we are done with the entire description of family Solanaceae. अब please, ये वाला जो डायग्राम है, ये वाला डायग्राम और फॉर्मूला we will do at the time of studying Brassicaceae next time. I am not discussing this right now. So this diagram and formula will not be asked in the DGD next time. Do the diagram of the Solanaceae wala. Solanum diagram का diagram है.